How many balls fit into a Dodge Dart? Well, your guess could qualify you to win a brand new Dodge Dart from PressBox and Tate Automotive. We'll have the car on display throughout April and May. The three closest guesses at each of our qualifying events will be invited back for a final shot at winning the Dart. Find out where and when you can qualify at PressBoxOnline.com. And welcome back to Inside PressBox. Our next guest has helped build up the sports landscape in our city and state. Hired by Governor Martin O'Malley early in his first term, Terry Hasseltine has elevated the state of Maryland in the eyes of those that make decisions on bringing their events. Since his arrival, the state has ratcheted up efforts on all fronts. We welcome Terry Hasseltine back to the program. Terry, thank you for coming in, and it has been a while. I saw you at a few of our 10 events this year. You were kind enough to stop by, but it's been a while since we've chatted. Lot to talk about, you know.
Definitely.
Amazingly busy time this past year with the Orioles' tremendous success, another Grand Prix event, another Ravens season that was off the charts, led to a Super Bowl, but in a weird way, it led to this September 5th scheduling snafu. And I'm wondering how the Stadium Authority observed it, what power they had in the process, and what they saw.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I have to speak from the perspective of the Office of Sports Marketing, that it's obviously two very high-profile organizations who both play in great facilities that happen to be on an 85-acre parcel of land with very limited parking structure. The other thing, too, is you also have two very strong leagues in Major League Baseball and in the NFL who obviously want their domain to be intact. And also you have the players associations that take into some effect there, because you're talking about the well-being of athletes when they play and the time frame and when they travel and the like. So it was really a matter of the two leagues and the two organizations. We, meaning the state and anybody else who was there, would have been there ready to support and be an advocate and support when it came to the decision that we can make this happen. But at the end of the day, you had to work through all of the levels of discussion between the leagues and the two clubs. And in all fairness, from my read on it, both clubs played a very good game of trying to
work it out.
It just happens that you have so many other factors that are in play, and whether you like it or not, sometimes you have to deal with the factors that are in play because of players' well-being, travel schedules, and the routines that are associated with those two leagues.
It was, if you will, almost an imperfect storm of confluence that led to an inability to squeeze it. The good news is, got two teams that are highly competitive right now, and a Grand Prix that is becoming a bigger and bigger event each year.
Well, obviously both teams being successful, obviously is great for the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland. The fact that we were talking about two teams during the fall overlapping each other, and the success of the O's and then the success of the Ravens, and a race in the Grand Prix of Baltimore, and the leadership there, and the mayor and the like taking that race, and you're seeing a transition and an uptick of, I think this year you're going to see a totally different event on Labor Day weekend. I think you're going to see the event starting to move in the direction we all thought it could be after that first year.
I know I've got to get you back in here again because we've got limited time to hit a bunch of categories real quick. All-Star Game, baseball. Is it still front burner as a possibility for 16 or 17?
Well, if anything, it would be 16, because that's when the American League is back up for the rotation. In my dialogues with the O's and their front office staff, is we have put out the overtures that we're very, very interested in 2016. But obviously, that's a commissioner's decision, and we're following the O's lead on that. And we continue to remind them that we, as a city and as a state, would be very interested in being a strategic partner in making sure that that event can come to fruition if the rotation allows and the commissioner makes that determination.
All right. I know that's problematic because Washington's also in the mix too, and they wouldn't have back-to-back games in Washington and Baltimore. How about this soccer match coming up this summer? We've got just over a minute.
Well, we have the CONCACAF Gold Cup, and for the first time ever, we're hosting 4 national teams in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup on the 21st of July. We have a 4 o'clock match and a 7 o'clock match. It is the first time that we will have dealt with national team competition that has a qualifying metrics to it. So right now the teams are out in pool play. They're all qualifying into the elimination rounds, and we host the first set of elimination rounds on the 21st of July. So We don't know who we're going to exactly have, but we're doing all the legwork.
You're going to have 4 top teams.
4 top teams in one of 5 regions in the world that's associated with FIFA. And CONCACAF is the United States, North America, Central America, and the Caribbean islands all into this one division. That's one of 5 regions of the FIFA family.
Right. How will people get tickets to that event?
Ticketmaster.com, or you can go on the Ravens website to buy tickets.
All right, Terry, we breezed through our time, and I wanted to talk to you about so much more. Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
When we return, we're going to visit with our friends over at the Zone Superstore and explain why everything is coming up orange. Get your turn t-shirts for the female sports fan in your life right now at yourturntshirts.com or at the Zone Superstore at 1744 East Joppa Road.